I want to be guiltless. That's why I push. See, the difference between you and the job is they believed in you. You don't believe in yourself. All I can tell you is they're going to come for you. Don't be scared. It's not the heebie-jeebies. Hey, we're not saying don't pay your bills, Mr. Jones. We're saying prioritize. See, that's why people are afraid to push, because it's about you. You're selfish. Think outside the box, because your current thinking got you to where you are right now. And in order to solve the problem, you can't use your same mind to solve the problem. It doesn't take money in this business to make money. I know it sounds weird. It takes belief. So if you can expand your mind to think outside the box of, hey, if there was something I really, really, really wanted and I needed to get it by this week, how would I get it? And you can't figure that out, you should just quit. Mac Agabor here. Welcome to Enter the Haven Real Talk. So we're going to be talking about a topic that is synonymous with success. Sometimes you fail and you think that's the end result, but I want to be a little transparent in that you need to embrace failure. So you're going to reinvent yourself in this business a lot of the times. And so you're in different stages. Some of you are coming into a stage where you're going, and man, you're like, wow, it seems as if you've been going in circles. You almost have to start over. Two things happen. You're at that fork in the road and you think you're alone, or somehow you're uniquely defective, where somehow you did it wrong. You did it different, right? You shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you don't realize that you're actually on the right track. You just don't see it. This is the same process that everyone has gone to, and everything you have been doing has led you to this point, right? It's like in Matrix, Neo, to prove he was the one, having to jump that building, right? Here's the truth. You had to get there. So failure is a thing. So when you have to fail and you get to a point where it seems like you've done so much, if you have to start over, understand this. You're not starting over from zero, because you're starting over with experience. It's different. If you think you're in the same spot, you have missed the boat. You did not realize the game that was really being played. You were just preparing yourself so that you can do the job right. So remember that as you go through. The second thing I want to just share, and as we go through questions, please let us know, because these are critical. The second thing you got to consider is this business is a relationship. How intimate are you with your business? This business is a living, breathing entity. It's literally a baby, okay? And some of us have had siblings, some of us didn't. If you didn't have siblings, you had a best friend. You had a best friend's mom and they had siblings. You had cousins who they had siblings. You've seen babies. How are babies, first bred, how are babies taken care of, and how do babies thrive? Or you ever seen or heard of situations where babies have to be taken away from the parents because of CPS, because of negligence, beating them, right? Your business is a baby, and you want your baby to retire you, right? You've seen parents who have kids and they put them in football. The goal is they become good in the NFL, NBA, whatever else, and they're literally banking on the kids to take them to glory. That's what you're doing. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because, hey, it is what it is. Maybe that's all you got. But in order for that to happen, consider, what did the parents do to get there? So if you look at your business, what kind of relationship do you have with your business? If you're, let's kind of say you progressed, your business is a girl or guy. How did you get with the girl you're with? How did you get with the guy you're with, right? First, you kind of hit it off. Okay, you look okay. We kind of attract each other, right? Okay, I see the money you can make. Okay. Then you started, texting a little bit often. How often are you talking about your business? Then you talked a lot more. You thought about it all the time. And then you're like, man, I can't live without this, bro. I mean, I don't feel whole when I'm away from this person. And I know I'm talking crazy talk right now, because you're like, man, this is just a business. That's what you think. That's just like saying this is just a person. If you don't identify what's really going on, here's what's going to happen. You're going to lose it. Just like couples or people that are dating and one leaves the other because they didn't realize what they really had. They treated them improperly. Queens were treated like they were servants, or kings were treated like they were just scrubs. And you say, you know what? I'm going to go find someone better that treats me right. That's what this business is. It can take you and give you everything, or it will rob you. Some of us, and the question I want to ask you is, what kind of relationship do you have with your business? Is it toxic, right? Are you arguing on it? Do you ever find yourself arguing with your business? I don't want to do that. Oh man, why do I do that? Like, that's a relationship. If you're arguing with your business, that's bad, because I've seen a lot of people argue. Hey, arguing is part of relationships, but there's a difference between arguing and resolving situations. So what kind of relationship do you have with your business? Are you intimate with your business? And what does that mean? Well, first, it's, again, the conversation. Have you decided to embrace your business and what it takes? What is it going to do for you? And how will you get it there? Where is your business in the growth stage? Is it a baby? And if it's a baby, last I checked, when something's a baby, you feed it. You don't tell the baby, hey, go get some things in the fridge. You just go look, go make something. The baby needs constant attention in the beginning. And if you don't identify that, don't be mad at the baby because it don't know how to do its own stuff. Some of us, we have kids like businesses, and we literally don't do anything for the kids, or rather in the parents' world, we do everything for the kids. And then when it's time for them to grow up, they are adult babies. They have no respect, right? They don't know how to do anything. I'm talking cook, clean. They talk to anybody anyhow. They're going to get beat down in the streets because they had no respect. In this case, when it comes to your business, and I'm giving some real talk, y'all. Some of us, you're like, you know what? I just want to make some money, Mac. Cool, right? Hey, you just want to just have a little fling. That's cool. I get it. It'll do that for you because this business is attractive. But make sure you do it right, because even flings can go south. But if you want this to give you more, you got to educate your expectations, what it takes. What does it take? Well, you got to buy leads. You got to feed it, right? Buy leads every week, like without fail. And we all have different situations. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I want you to hear me on this. I came from Africa. I say this often. I've seen other documentaries of people in different places. You've seen documentaries of moms, dads who do what it takes for their babies. I've been in humble circumstances. And when you have kids, man, I have parents who worked 2-3 jobs to make sure the kids were fed. You feel me? So when it comes to buying leads, if you don't consider your business a baby, if you think it's just a thing, you can treat it when you like, that's called CPS is coming for your business. That's called you're going out of business because you're not feeding it right. You got to buy leads every week. You got to buy leads every week. You got to feed your business. Figure it out. Maybe you go borrow money, borrow food from your neighbor. Hey, can you help me out? This week I'm kind of short. I need to get some milk, my baby. Can you help me out? Like, parents humble themselves. They do whatever they got to do to feed their kids. If you don't do that to this business, well, you just say, well, I guess I don't got any, money for food this week, son. It's on you. You got to fast. Like, who does that? Yet we do those same things to the business and we expect it to grow, or we wonder why it's going backwards. Or we say, let me go ahead and buy leads this week. The next week I won't buy leads because things are tight. And then, come on, really? Here's the truth. It doesn't take money in this business to make money. I know it sounds weird. It takes belief and faith. Because if you believed right now in your situation, whatever is preventing you, if this is you from buying leads, if I told you right now, listen, Bill, Rao, whatever, if you go for whatever your situation is, I don't care what it is, you're broke. Hey, if you find a way to get $5,000, I'm talking $5,000, and you put it in this investment, or $5,000, by the way, a down payment, and you can get this house that's worth $2.5 million. Who would not? I mean, maybe you're not a house person, but you don't have to do a lot of math to know that $5,000 down to get a $2.5 million house, you can sell it. Come on. What extent would you not go to? If you can't figure out how to get the money, then you're stuck. And I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to move on. Whatever challenge is keeping you from feeding your business properly, maybe it's not leads. Maybe it's giving it time, because remember, this is a relationship. And relationship life, I check. You ever had rich kids who had all the stuff that they wanted, stuff, food, house, but their parents never hung out with them? You know, they were mad at their mama, daddy, or maybe they had daddy issues, mommy issues. So it's a relationship. So maybe it's time that you're not spending with your business. So similarly, if I told you, if you figured a way to spend the time, spend whatever scarce resource you're saying you don't have to feed your baby, if I told you that scarce resource, if you figured it out, you would get what you get. Then what would happen? Of course, you would get it. All I'm saying is, if whatever problem you have, you created the problem with the current mind that you're thinking. So when I'm asking you these little hypothetical situations, I'm trying to help you think outside the box, because your current thinking got you to where you are right now. And in order to solve the problem, you can't use your same mind to solve the problem. That's when we go into a client's house. They say things like, I don't got the money. What do? We expand their mind. Well, if you don't got the money now and things are tight, Mr. Jones, well, how's it going to be when you die? Right? Hey, we're not saying don't pay your bills, Mr. Jones. We're saying prioritize. Is it going to hurt you more if you die that you didn't pay that bill, or that you left Billy, Joe, Jack with a $5,000, $10,000 burden? People are saying prioritize. You see, you're expanding their mind a little bit. So if you can expand your mind to think outside the box of, hey, if there was something I really, really, really wanted and I needed to get it by this week, how would I get it? And you can't figure that out, you should just quit. I'm just being real with you. You are not built, because this business is for problem solvers. And if you're not a problem solver, nothing wrong with it. You are who you are. It's just not your time yet, because you have to be a big boy and big girl, because in order to make more money, you're paid in proportion to the problems you can solve. No one will solve the problem for you. You've done that. You've seen people who've done that. And if people do it too much for you, it will hurt you. If you feed the bears for a season, they forget how to hunt. That's why you see the sign, don't feed the bears, because you're trying to help them. If you feed them and people help you all the time, you will never learn or earn or become the person you need to be to actually have a business that will retire you, or have a business that, forget retire you, just pay you $5,000, pay you 10 grand, pay you 20. I hope that makes sense for everybody. You have to be intimate with your business. So as far as the business is concerned, remember, you got to, first step, you got to feed your business. You got to buy leads. Then you got to do work. Once you do the work, the rest is history. Buy leads, dial leads, run the appointments. Buy leads, dial leads, run the appointments. Now, I'm going to end here. And unless we got some questions, drop it down in the chat. If you transition from starting the business, just remember this. As you proceed, you're going to encounter some challenges, growth challenges. I don't want you to be surprised. I don't know what they're going to look like. All I can tell you is they're going to come for you. Don't be scared. It's not the heebie-jeebies, but remember this. The more complicated the problem you have, the bigger you're going to make. Remember what Biggie said, more money, more problems? That's legit. That's legit. So remember, just an example, just so it can stick in your mind, baggers at grocery stores. They put the cans on the bottom and the bread on the top. Small problem, small money. Now, some of us were employees. The problem we solved was a manpower issue. So we solved the problem. We saw that we were good at it and we were getting paid. But I want you to think about something. If you were getting paid good money from what you were doing before and you thought it was good money, can you imagine what they're making? Think about that. If you're not making them more money than they're paying you, guess what you would not have? A job. But once you realize that, wait, I got some skills. I should go ply my own trade doing what I know I'm good at. The only difference is you are not willing to bet on yourself. They were willing to bet on you. You know how much it cost them before you even made them any money? Training, maybe some supplies, time, because it maybe took you 30, 60, 90 days to start making them some money. They were willing to buy leads, in essence. They were willing to fund you. Now you've gotten the skills because you've been in the workforce. See, the difference between you and the job is they believed in you. You don't believe in yourself, which is it's idiotic to me, because they obviously knew you could do. Now, why don't you do it? And if you believe in yourself, looking at your track record, why not just follow that track record, right? An employer believed in you enough. Here it's buy, dial, run. Look at the ratio, get with your leadership. But all I'm saying is if you've come this far, you can do this. Get around doers, not don't-ers. 1 ounce of doubt, you're out. There are people who will doubt you. not even realizing they're trying to doubt you. You got to get away from them lovingly. And sometimes you got to have real talk with these people, because some of us, we are so weak. We mustered up the strength just to get a little flame going of entrepreneurship. We had this belief in us that, hey, I could do more. We strike a flame and someone thinking that they're trying to help you, they blow you out. You got to realize who you are. If you are really, really, really just small, you better cover that up. And if you got to, you better knock them out. Say, listen, I love you, but I can't be with you right now. I got to protect my flame and let the flame become a bonfire. And there will come a time when you can handle all that. But when you are a baby, you cannot handle negativity. That's why you come to the office. That's why you show up at the office, because all we got here are just flames. So again, this is just talk. I hope people don't feel this is just mumbo jumbo. Guys, this is real talk. The human mind, before it did anything, me speaking right now, before the speech was done, my mind said, say this. We just got used to it. Did you know the mind, they actually rated how fast it is? Each synapse in your brain, it's 600 miles an hour. We're just so used to it going so fast. We think it's normal, but you don't realize that everything that we're doing now, we manifested it in the universe already. Most of us, we are trying to say we are married to success, but we're courting failure in different ways. Failure is our side chick, our side guy. Stop it. Get away from it and let's win. So last things, FFL home office, make sure you get on. This is the platform and we're going to train you. No one is going to come for you if you don't show up for yourself. We can't do that. It's what we're discovering is it detracts from the ability to help multiple people. You know, Jesus talks about going after the one, yes. But the one, I mean, you know, before you go after the one, you can't lose yourself, right? If you're hearing me and you're in the distance of my voice, fflhomeoffice.com. If you're doing anything work related, anything at all, you should be at the office. Questions you got about business, guess where you should go? FFL Home Office. Because if I'm not there, someone else is there, we can help you there. But if you're going to go by yourself, the fastest way for a flame to go out is by itself. So make sure you get on there. We have events coming up every Thursday. Make sure you lock it in 1 to 2 Pacific time every Thursday. We're here. We're going to be training on a topic. Next week, we're going to have a guest speaker, people from different vantage points, and you will be shocked. We've had baseball players, basketball players, professional, people from all walks of life. And when they share their history, it'll give you more confidence so that when those problems that I'm telling you about, when they come up, you're gonna be like, oh, Mac told me about this versus running away. And I'm so glad that I'm able to at least share some of my experiences because I didn't have people sharing these problems with me. I just thought it was just me and being unique. If we are doing our jobs right, you should not have to reinvent the wheel. You should be able to come to leadership and say, hey, here's what I'm going through. What do you recommend? And we should say, we've either been through that or, hey, here's someone who's been through that. You should talk to them. That's how we learn and grow, because the best way is to enroll in the school of experience. So guys, that's all I got. Unless we got any questions, let's go ahead and throw it down. If you've been in the trenches and actually working, certain questions will come up, because here's the truth. Here's why I know that people aren't working. Just being real. I was taught this a long time ago. When a leader asks if there are any questions, if there are 0 questions, and okay, let me back up. If you are where you want to be and things are going exactly how you wanted to go, run with it. You're good. But if things are not how you want it to be, and a leader says, hey, what questions do you have? And you have no questions. It means one of 2 things. You're either not thinking, you're not present, or you're not working, because the questions that would be generated would have come from you doing work. So, hey, this is just me being real. And that's what I always love. I've always appreciated reality. So next week, when we're running in the field, I guarantee you should have questions, because you're buying leads, down leads, and you're running appointments. Hey, how do you handle this? Hey, this happened this week. How would you have done it? Boom, 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 so forth and so on. All right, Rose has a question. Rose is asking, what can you do to improve persistency? Here's what you do. The post-sale tie down is more critical than the initial setting the table tie down. What do I mean by that? Well, when we set the table, we decide whether the client is either worth our time, whether they see the value, right? Whether they know the process. We're trying to flush out all their objections at the beginning so that we know, we know we have a sale if they're willing to go through the process. I used to get through the lead and I'm done. Whew. So next, here's what I discovered. You have to close people on two fronts: psychologically, so emotionally and rationally. Rationally, it might make sense, but emotionally it doesn't, because rationally the numbers make sense, the payment, but then maybe a week goes by, they look at that number, the rationale is gone. They're like, I don't know if I need that anymore. So emotionally, you might get them excited thinking about their son, daughter, nephew, niece, and then they look at their payment. They're like, they forget the emotion. So you gotta strike both fronts. So one of the things I do a post-sale, boom, boom, boom. I ask them a couple of questions. What did you do? What did you get today? How much coverage, so forth and so on. Why did you get it? Right? I want them to tell me, what is it going to do for you? When you tell them all this, it might be perceived as you selling them. But when they say it, meaning it came out of their mouth, you guys have seen the movie Inception, right? If it comes out of the mind, the most resilient parasite is an idea. When it comes out of their mind and their mouth, completely different thing. It sinks into them. So you have them answer. And if I'm in the home, I try to record it, right? I say, hey, Mr. Jones, there's, we see a lot of families and there are a lot of people that need this, but they're kind of scared of the process. Would you mind just just real quick on camera, just sharing, why you did this? So let me ask you real quick. And I got the camera on. I say, okay, so I'm here with Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones, what did you get today? Boom. Why'd you, and why did you get it? What is it gonna do for you? Man, and I send them a picture. So if you're doing telesales, hopefully you're doing it on Zoom, the more you can make it emotional, I'm talking sending them a picture, give them value. Maybe in the post-sale tie down, you tell them about, hey, when was the last time you got your will done? Oh, okay. Even if they got it done. Well, when was the last time you got your will updated? Oh, wow. Okay, let's get that updated. You'll give them that little final wishes guide, or say, hey, I'm going to make sure we get you that, do your own will.com, because that's so critical. You find a way to add more value so that you lock yourself into their lives. Guess what I do? I get their phone. I add my number to their phone. I send them my contact card. I hit import. I wait until they're done so that when I call Ms. Jones, it's me. Fair? So that when I call them in the future, there's no, I've been booking annual reviews. You know why these people pick up the phone for me? Because my number is in their phone, right? Those kind of small things you do. You tell them that I'm here for life. So there's just these small things you can do to lock yourself in their life. All people want is to know that you're not going to lie to them and you're going to be there for them when they need it most, their family, right? That's why it's so critical. So that's just one thing I've done to be able to increase it. Rose is asking again, and if when you set the table, they're coming at you with objections about banking or social from the get up, when are you deciding that you're wasting your time? I get to the bottom of it. I had a guy, similar situation. When they come at me with that, I said, listen, do I have your permission to be 100% transparent? Somehow saying that gives you the right to take the gloves off and say things that you wouldn't say normally, but they won't be offended. It's almost like in Texas, they say, bless your heart, you're dumb. Like you can say anything you want as long as you say bless your heart before it, right? It's weird. Same concept. I say, hey, so Rose, can I have your permission to be 100% honest? Okay. When most people say that, they took the time to fill a form out, to look at life insurance, they know it's important, and they say they don't want the social, it's for one of two things. They're either afraid that they're not going to qualify, or they think it'll be too expensive. Just be real with me. What's your biggest concern here? Like, they're like, oh, now you're talking real talk. Boom, they come out with it. What that means is you haven't really addressed the real objection, or they're just shopping, or they say things like, hey, I'm just looking for quotes. I've heard that before. Of course you are. Are you looking for quotes just to cover the basic funeral or to leave money behind? And they asked me, I gotcha. Now, Rose, you and I both know quotes don't pay death benefits. And Rose, listen, I know you got someone that you love. And who's that person you're trying to protect? Bill? Okay. People don't look for life insurance, fill a form out because they're just curious. Would you agree? Yeah. Because you and I both know tomorrow isn't promised, right? Because like right now, if you died, like would Bill have that money right now to cover the funeral, or would that put them out? Yeah, put them out. So what normally happens when people are kind of giving me the resistance is they're just afraid that it'll be too much, or they don't think they'll qualify. Which one is it for you? And every time I get to the bottom of it, and again, people don't do it because they're curious. If they do, then you'll be able to get to the bottom of it. I had a guy, just a couple of, you guys heard the heard the little video, or sorry, the little audio on Telegram. He gave me this objection, that objection, that objection. And he said, you're right, Mac. I do need to do it. I couldn't get past that. I don't want to do it right now. I normally would just give him the business, but he's a veteran. So I respected him. I said, listen, I get it. He had a lot of things in his mind, PTSD. We're going to talk on Saturday. But normally I give it to him. You are probably the last person that they will ever talk to about life insurance. And then they're dead. So if you're going to go out, you go out hard, swinging. If the family came to you the next day, they said, hey, Ed, hey, my dad died. I saw he called you. Why didn't you get him life insurance? Are you be like, well, he said he didn't want it? Or are you going to be able to say with confidence, hey, Ed, I gave it everything I had. I tried him 3 times. I asked him this, and he just wouldn't get it. Or you see what I'm saying? I want to be guiltless. That's why I push. See, that's why people are afraid to push, because it's about you. You're selfish. It ain't about me. It's about the family. If you fight for little Jimmy because mom's being an idiot, dad's being an idiot, then you'll feel better about yourself. You can fight for Jimmy with confidence. Just like a bully. You guys ever seen big bullies picking on someone small? Yeah, you can get pummeled. But when you see a guy that's huge beating down a girl, do you just sit there? Well, he can beat me up. I mean, I'm scared. No, you go, man. Listen, hey, you got to stop, man. They are bullying their family. And so you say things like Sean Mike would say, got it. So if you're not to get this, who's going to be hurt by this? Like, who's got to pay the bill? Your daughter. Okay. Can you go give me your number so I can let her know and whoever else that they're going to be screwed? Like, he would say that kind of stuff because that's what you say when you care about other people. So great question. Guys, we're going to end here. Appreciate you guys. Any other questions? Of course, again, we got 2 platforms we use. FFL Home Office, where you're able to learn from top producers, integrity partners, and Telegram. Make sure you turn your notifications on. We got people that are in the grind. Don't recreate the wheel. Just listen. I mean, people are talking about what they did, how they did it. Trust me, they've already tread the path. All you got to do is know where the mines are so you can avoid them, and we're all going to win together. Make sure that you registered for Dallas National Conference next February. It's 5,000 people only, right? So hopefully you book your seat and decide. That's called the wedding of your business. If you say you're not going to go, I'm sorry. If I was in a relationship with you, I said, hey, let's book a wedding. And you say, I don't know if I'm ready yet. Okay, then. All right. Well, I knew we were doing a define a relationship, but I guess we ain't ready then. Okay. And when that happens, guess what the business does? It gets aloof from you because you're not in it to win it. Those problems that you were going to confront anyway, you don't have the experiences to solve them, right? So just keep that in mind. Last thing I'll just say before we close. You're going through things right now, whether it's on the producer side or on the builder side, that's preparing you to solve the next problem. If you put your head in the sand and you just hope the problem goes away, here's what's going to happen. It's like those RPG games. You go through roundabout, scenic route to get just one key. The key is not for that door. The key is for the next level. So the next level comes, the next problem comes, and guess what you don't have? The key. And you know what's crazy? That problem may not come back for 6 months, 3 months. It may come back 2 years later, all because you weren't ready now. So whatever problem it is, I'm just saying, y'all, embrace it. It's on purpose. Ask yourself, what am I trying to learn? What do I need to learn from this? And how can I overcome this? And it's like a class. As soon as you pass the test, you're on and it's over. And all of a sudden you're on to the next level. And you're like, man, if it was this good, where was all the blessings back then? Because it seemed as if you were going through the ringer. So that's it, guys. Take care. Take charge. If you need me, you know where to get a hold of me. We'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.